All right, welcome. Thank you for showing up today. Today, we're going to be talking about practicing some things. Tonight is intentionally different. Not louder, not flashier, just different. For the last few weeks, we've been talking about what Jesus said matters most. What should come first in our lives? You've heard the messages over the last 3 weeks, thought about the questions, and maybe even agreed with some of it. But belief doesn't stop at agreement. At some point, faith has to move from knowing to doing. That's what today is all about. Not perfection, not pretending you've got it all figured out, just taking a real step. If faith has ever felt theoretical, something you believe but you don't know how to live, this is for you. If you've ever thought, I believe in God, but I don't know what that looks like on a Tuesday, this is for you. Today isn't about watching someone else model faith. It's about practicing it for yourself, honestly, imperfectly, and intentionally. Anyone who's good at something, like really good, didn't get there by accident. Athletes don't become elite without repetition. Musicians don't grow without practice. Even confident leaders with self-control their gifts aren't inherited. They practice this. Growth always requires practice, and faith is no different. Jesus talked about this in the Sermon on the Mount. He described two people who heard the same truth. One built their life on a rock while the other built it on sand. And when the storm came, one person was left standing while the other collapsed. The difference wasn't what they heard. It was what they did with it. Jesus said the person who hears his words and puts them into practice is the one who stands when life gets hard. That's why today exists. Not to hype you up, but to help you live this out. Faith that stays in your head won't hold you up, but faith that you practice will. You know, for the past 3 weeks, we've been in this series called Start Here. Week 1 showed us that faith begins with love. Loving God because he loves us first. Not fearing God, not making sure we have the performance to show that we love God or love. And week 2 changed and challenged the idea that our worth is fragile. Jesus reminded us that our value isn't based on success, popularity, or perfection, that it's secure in him. And when your worth is secure, you stop trying to prove yourself. In week 3, it pushed us outward. Jesus didn't avoid people who were different. He moved towards them. He replaced the labels with conversations. And when he did, lives and communities were changed. So imagine if we actually lived like all of this were true. Imagine if you believed God truly loves you. You lived like your worth was already there, and you chose to see people instead of categorize them. That kind of faith doesn't stay private. It changes how you think, how you speak, and how you treat the people around you. So today we're going to do this. We're going to practice this. I want to give you some pointers, and I would love for you to take the space every day this week to practice these. The first one is hearing from God through Scripture. The second is talking to God through prayer. The third is talking about God honestly with others. And the fourth one is living for God through worship and service. Don't expect to get this perfectly. Don't forget to remember that you wanted to practice this every day. And when you do, don't beat yourself up. And as you move into the next parts of today, remember this. God isn't asking you to have everything figured out. He's inviting you to take a step. Practice is how faith becomes real. So let's just start there. Have a beautiful week, everybody.